Just a race committee this year, helping our colleague in the organizing committee to make sure that everything are in place. All the participants enjoy their week. All the sponsors achieve what they're looking for.
How many members in the committee?
We have about 15.
15.
Yeah.
You're all amateur, or should we say volunteers?
Yes, a volunteer, a major volunteer, whatever you say. Not doing this for business, doing this out of love.
Right. But you've been involved with the regatta for how many years, would you say?
More than 10 years now, as a sailor to begin with, and later on as organizing committee and president eventually.
Right. Simon, you're again the chairman of the race committee?
Yeah, that's correct. Back in for the 8th year. So keeping everybody out on the water.
But you're not again a professional, but this is something you're quite expert at.
I'm not running the event as a professional, no. It's a totally volunteer job. And part of my role is acting as almost a PR company for Sunsail.
Right. How many years have you been taking part or participating?
I first joined the King's Cup in 1995 when I arrived in Phuket. So yeah, we're coming up to the 14th year now.
Right. So this year is the 22nd, right?
The 22nd
So you
year.
started in 1987.
Yes.
We're here at your office in Boat Lagoon. This is the full-time office, shall we say? Is that right?
Yeah, we are open all year round, so people would know where to look for when they need information, they need early registration.
Right. But you move your office or your staff, shall we say, to what, the Hotel Kata Beach Resort for the regatta?
Yes, that's during the race week, during December, early December week. We have the entire office relocated to Kata Beach Resort, where we base our organizing committee.
How many office staff or helpers here do you have?
Oh, ask Simon. It requires at least 50 people to run the entire event, and mainly they are all volunteer. 30 on the water and 20 on shore.
Okay.
Yeah, office-wise, we have 3 full-time people during the year. We've always got inquiries coming in all the time. You know, people want T-shirts. Sponsors want more details. They bring people along and say, look, here's the King's Cup. It's a full-time event. So there's a lot of PR going on. Even if you go to Phuket town, you'll see all the overhead gantries have all got advertising, giving Phuket King's Cup details. There's still posters around, banners on shop windows. So it's all year round, keeping the publicity going.
Talking of T-shirts, you're wearing the pink. Is this the theme this year?
This is last year's shirt, actually. This year's hasn't arrived yet. But we'll keep that a surprise.
So what's special about this year and how are the registrations going so far?
I must say the pinnacle of Phuket King's Cup is the beautiful race course of Phuket Island and the hospitality of Phuket people and Thai people in general. This keeps people coming back for more than 20 years. There's no single regattas are the same, but Phuket King's Cup is one of the most popular one that people talk about all year round.
Okay. But you hope to get sort of around 100 each year, or this year?
Number doesn't mean much to us, but we see more and more people joining, and particularly from our neighboring countries like China, Russia, Japan, and all the important home port around Southeast Asia, as far as Australia, Europe, and America. We have more than 20 countries participating in King's Cup each year. And if you see the boat, they are as far as Canada, North America, Europe.
Do you think with the Olympics being in Beijing and China and this part of the world this year, that might encourage, say, more people to come to this area this year?
I must say that we see an encouraging trend from China. People in China are very keen to get on to the sailing sport. They promote it heavily in China through the Olympic in Qingdao. And the number of organizations in China who support Chinese sailing team. They even sent a boat to Regatta Cup last year, right? Mm-hmm. In Spain. Okay. So we are talking to the sleeping giant for seafaring. Chinese is very good at seafaring in the old days, and they are coming back.
Okay. I think what we're going to find is that over the last few years we've got bigger and bigger boats and more people. And now there's a lot more people coming with smaller boats. The sports boat class is growing. We've got the Firefly catamarans from Phuket, which only have sort of 5 or 6 crew. So we're going to go from 2 years ago, if you asked me for the numbers, I'd say 100 boats, and we had 1,000 crew registered on the first weekend. Last year we had the same number of boats, but we had 1,400 crew. At the biggest party and all the extra people, we get over 2,000 people now, so more and more people coming in, and then there's more and more people coming in with smaller boats, so the numbers move up and down. All of a sudden, instead of somebody bringing a very big yacht that needs 32 crew, all of a sudden groups of the crews come along with 2 or 3 sports boats or 2 or 3 Fireflies, so they can all race competitively. And I think people are moving more and more in Asia now, after seeing the races with the Olympics, to race what we call one design, where they have a lot more smaller, consistent boats, so it's really what you do on the water, not how much you paid for it.
It also makes it much easier for, say, the press and the spectators to understand who's leading the race if they're all the same.
Oh, certainly. It makes it much more of a spectator sport there. I think during Koh Samui Regatta this year, Phuket Race Week, we had events that the first to last position in a class was geared about 2 minutes difference. Right the way through the race, we had races sometimes this year where the final result at the end of the week was by 1 second in one race, which is where racing is really going.
Konstantin, what about Thai entrants and younger people too, but particularly Thai? Are you seeing any more trend getting more Thai people in?
Certainly, we have more and more Thai entry each year, and the existing entry that we have on hand, they even upgrade the equipment, getting ready for the semi, professional race. Although we are non-professional in the entire regattas, but people are getting serious on the racing side. Royal Thai Navy boat, they are preparing their equipment, replacing some of the old broken equipment, getting the team ready. For instance.
What about younger people and women too? Are they getting more attracted to the sport and the regatta?
We see more family from Pattaya coming this year because of the Ocean Thai Hall Fleet commission from Vietnam. It's a trimaran. There are more than 10 right now, and you will see a lot of people coming from Pattaya. It's Bangkok-based sailors coming down with family and friends.
I think what you find, and something we forget to tell people, is that in the last few regattas here, more than 50% of the people out on the water are Thailand-based or Thai. Okay, the owner might be a Westerner or Farang, an Australian, a Brit or something like that, but most of his crew these times are Thai. Even on the Fireflies, Mark Pescott, who's one of the leading racers here, he had all Thai female crew this time at the last regatta, so there's a lot more Thais out in the water, and they're learning a lot more about being out on the boats.
Will you have your customary sort of sail past you had previous years for His Majesty and obviously the candlelight ceremony?
Yes, certainly. It was planned that way on December the 5th in the morning, like 8 o'clock in front of Qatar Bay.
I think it's become part of the King's Cup history now that we will probably run this most years now. We will try and do something different. I mean, we do try to do something different every year and really expand what we're doing. But I think sail past is something that all the competitors love it. The Thai Navy love taking part, and it gets people out, and it's something that's visible close to the shore.